Hello everyone. Well, this time I'm bringing you this tutorial about this little coin purse. Like you see, it's a little coin purse with little pearls. I add them. They're like pearlized pearls. They're really shiny. Well, I'm using this one as a small little one. Well, here are the materials I'm gonna use. I'm gonna use a hook. This hook is a small one. It's size 7. Like you see, it's really small. I use it small so I could put the beads inside the hook. When I'm using this size of pearls, see, it's a size 7.4 millimeters. It's like you see, there are beads, pearlized. Well, like I mentioned I use this hook, a small one, so I could put the hook inside the pearl. So whenever I pull out the thread, it will come out together with it. You see, like this. That's why I use a small one, so it won't be that difficult to take out the thread. It's easier. Well, I'm using a size 9 thread. It's a nylon yard. And also, you could use, if you don't have that, you could use a cotton yarn like this one. This is size 10 from Lydia's. If you don't have it that thick, you could use it twice the yarn, so you can make it almost the same size. Like you see, this one's smaller than this one. One is thicker and one is a little thin. Well, I just put double the yarn and will make it almost the same size, the thickness. Also, I'm gonna use the scissors. Okay, we're gonna start with the bottom part. Like you see right here, this is the bottom part. I'll start it here. I already did right here 15 chains. That's gonna be the bottom part right here. Like you see, we're gonna add one more chain. That'll make 16 in total. That's for raising up right here. I'm gonna add one more, make it 16, and right here in the first chain, like you see, I'm gonna do my single crochet right here, the first one. I'm gonna do one single crochet, and the second one also. I'm gonna be doing here in all the 15. I'm gonna do single crochet in each chain. Be adding all single crochet in each one of them. Gonna go all to get to this point right here. More, like you see, need 2 more chains to finish a single crochet. Right here in the last one, that's where I'm gonna add 5 single crochets right here in this one, in the same stitch, in the same chain. I'm be adding 5, and be 1, be 2 double crochets, single crochets. Again, all the 5 single crochets gonna be in the same chain right here, in the same place. You're having the 5. Now I need just to pull this thread right here, and all the rest, this one's do the repeat chain by chain. I'm gonna be adding single crochet the same way I did the other way. Single crochet in each chain all the way to where I started it. You see how this came out? Like, yeah, I mentioned I did 5 single crochet in the end, then single crochets. Now here, like in the first one, I already did 1, so that means I have to do 4 more single crochets. That makes it turn like this one over here. I have 5, so we had already 1. So now I'm gonna add 4 single crochets, and here, right there, in the same chain. If you use a different size of hook, it will make it a little much bigger. I like using the small one. It makes the stitches a little more tighter. Well, and then I'm gonna finish in the 4 single crochets. I'm gonna do a slip stitch with the beginning one right here when we started it. Right here, I do a slip stitch, and I do one more chain like this. Now we're gonna repeat the whole process again. Gonna go in each. Right here, gonna do single crochets again. So I already write for one. Right here, the first one. So I'm gonna get one more chain. Right here on this one, the first one, I'm gonna do a single crochet. With the first chain that I did is gonna count like 2 single crochets in 1 stitch. And the next one, I'm gonna do the same thing, do single crochet in each one until I get to this point right here. Keep on going. Now I have it all the single crochets right here in the corners. That's where I'm gonna be adding the augmentations. So right here in the first one, you're gonna start adding a single crochet the same way. And now on this, you see those 3 single crochets right here that I did 3 stitches. That's where I'm gonna be adding 2 single crochets in each one. So in this second one right here, of the 5 that I did, is gonna be 2 single crochets in the same chain. Makes it 2. See, right here, right in the middle of the part right there, I'm gonna add 2 single crochets in the same stitch. This are the 3 out of the 5 that I did previously. So right here on the third one right there, I'm gonna do the same thing, 2 single crochets in the same stitch. Okay, now on the 5th one, you see that's how it makes it bigger. Right here in the 5th one, 5th stitch right there, I'm just gonna do 1 single crochet like that. Then you see how you did. So right here in the 5th ones, on the first one, you see I did 1 single crochet, and then the third ones I did 2 single crochets in each stitch. 2, 2, and 2, and then 1 single crochet out of the 5 total ones. Now I'm gonna keep on doing single crochets all the way to the beginning where we started it, all the way over here to right there. Okay, now this is where we started. You see, this is how the corner came out. Not like I mentioned you. I already did on the first one. I already did 2 single crochets. So now I need to do again. I'm gonna do the same thing we did in the corner. A single crochet right there. In the second one, I'm going to be doing 2 single crochets in the same stitch. Now on the next one, I'm going to repeat the process, 2 single crochets in the same stitch. That will make it a little bit rounder. And right here, I'm just going to do the same thing, 2 single crochets. Then now I'm going to do a slip stitch with the beginning one where we started at. Right there. I'm going to do a slip stitch. And close it with 1 stitch, 1 chain. We're going to repeat the process one more time, the same way that we did here. So I'm going to be doing again the single crochets from right here, and we're going to do the augmentations in the corner. So we're gonna be doing single crochet from here, right here with the indentations, all the way to right here. Having all the single crochets added right here on the corner, like I mentioned, we're gonna be adding 2 single crochets in each stitch. That's gonna make 6 stitches right here in this corner, and we're gonna keep on going single crochet and do the same thing over here. And we're going to do a slip stitch with the beginning one in this point. Like you see, we did one more round the same way. Now I did slip stitch, and I'm going to be raising with 2 chains right here. Now we're going to be working in the back loops from the back side, like right here in this stitches. I'm going to be working on this, the last one. Like you see, it's 2. It makes it this 2 the chain makes it 2 loops right there. So I'm gonna be working on the back one only, on this one right there, on the back one right there. I'm gonna be working on that one. So it's gonna, now I'm not gonna get on 2 of them. I'm not gonna get on the 2 loops right here. I'm just gonna get on the back one. I'm gonna be doing my stitches. I'll be working on the back one right there. So we're gonna be doing single crochets on that back loop right there, this way. I'm doing all single crochets. I'm not gonna do no indentation in none of them. I'm just gonna go on each stitch single crochets, only the back one. You see, it's raising a little bit up. So right here in the corners, I'm not gonna do nothing. I'm just gonna keep on going in each stitch a single crochet until I get to this point. You see, it's forming like a little canoe. You see, it's raising a little bit up. That's what I want to get. So we raise a little bit up. This is gonna be working on the back loops, like I mentioned. So now we're gonna start adding our beads in this one. I made the 3 chains already. I'm always gonna start with those 3 chains all the time. So in every round we're gonna be doing these 3 chains in each round. When we start adding our beads, every time we're gonna be doing with these 3 chains. Okay, so now I'm gonna get my bead. Like I mentioned, we have to go through the little hole of the bead. Then we're gonna put right here in this stitch right there. On the next stitch, we're gonna put our hook, and we're gonna pull over the yarn this way. Now we're gonna pull through the bead with the yarn, put it out. Sometimes it's kind of hard. It all depends on the size of the hook and the yarn. You see, it's kind of difficult sometimes. Just go ahead and get all the yarn again. Just pull it out. Now I'm going to close the stitch. Get the yarn again. This is going to come out. Get the yarn and close our stitch. Same way. Put our stitch out. Like that. That's how I add the bead right here. See how it comes out? You could use any kind of bead, like I mentioned, any kind you want. Okay, we get a yarn over, and we're gonna do our first half double crochet right here on the next stitch. Gonna go through 2 loops, then 1 more loop. That's our first half double crochet. So that's the way I add the beads. The same pattern we're gonna repeat all around. So we're gonna get another bead, we go through the bead, we get the next stitch, pull our yarn out and go through the bead again once more, take out the yarn, and we're going to close the stitch this way. We're going to yarn over and do our next half double crochet, go through loops, then next 2 loops. So that's the way we add. Like you see, it's a simple stitch. We're going to keep on adding our beads this way. It's going to be 1 bead and then the next half double crochet, 1 bead and half double crochet, the same pattern all the way. Go through the bead, then we close our stitch, then next we're going to do the half double crochet. This way, go through loops, then another 2 loops. We're going to continue this way, adding our beads, repeating the pattern until we get to the first 3 chains we did. Do the bead, close our stitch, and we do our next half double crochet. Don't forget to subscribe and please leave your comments. So you're gonna do all the round. You see how it's popping out the beads to this point right there, to the first 3 chains. I like how they're coming out, those little beads. They look awesome. So we start to the beginning. Okay, here, like you see, I already had all the beads. This is how they look. They're popping out. And we're gonna close our with the first 3 chains. We're gonna close right there. You see the 3 chains? We're gonna do a slip stitch with the beginning one on the 3rd stitch. Do a slip stitch, and then, like, remember, we're gonna rise with 3 chains, like I mentioned you previously. You're gonna be always doing these 3 chains. So now what we're gonna do here is that we're gonna do our bead is gonna take a look like right in between the 2 beads right there. You see, we're gonna be adding our next bead right there in between these 2 beads. So we get our bead and we go through the bead, and right there in the first stitch, right there almost in the same stitch where we started, right there on the first one, there's going to be the one in between the beads right there. We're going to get our yarn, pull through the bead and close the chain. Now we're going to do our next half double crochet right there in that bead. Where's the next one? We're going to do our next half double crochet. We get it this way. I'm going to go right there. Where's that bead? Right there. That's on the next stitch. We're going to do the half double crochet. We need it to, so the bead will come out right like this. It looks this way between the 2 beads. So our next bead is going to be in the next stitch, right there in between these 2 beads. In this one, we're going to be adding our next bead. We get the bead, get right there in the stitch. We go through the bead again and close our stitch, and then on the next one right there we're going to do our next half double crochet. We put 2 loops. So it's gonna come out this way. Like you see, I want the beads to get online this way. That goes in between the last previous one. It has to go right in between the beads so it can look kind of nice. The lining of the beads. See, like on this one, like you see, it's going like sideways. You see, it's going between the beads. Just going sideways in each bead. Previously you're going to be adding in between the beads, so it could look this way, so it won't look all straight up. Just kind of going sides by side to the side of the bead, so it could go up like this way. It looks like it's going sides by side, it's not going all straight. So I'm going to keep on doing the same pattern, adding rows to get to 9 rows in total. Like you see right here, I already did 9 rows. Went up. So that's all I'm gonna do, just 9 rows. It's gonna be a small coin purse. Right here, I just slip stitch with the beginning one, and I already erased with 2 chains. So I'm gonna be doing single crochets all around. Only single crochets this way. You'll be adding single crochet in each stitch all around. And go through each chain single crochet. That's gonna meet the to rise it up a little bit. Continue this way until the beginning to right here. So I'm gonna slip stitch with the beginning one this way. I'm gonna chain 1 more. Then I'm gonna do again. We're gonna repeat it. Single crochet again. I'm gonna repeat this process like 2 more rows. Make it in total 3 rows to rise it up a little bit. So this is way right here. So I slip stitch, and I'm gonna cut the thread this way, and we're gonna hide this thread in the back. I raise it up a little so that way I could help me out to put the lining in the zipper. So I hope you like this tutorial and you like this coin purse, and please don't forget to comment and subscribe, and go visit my Facebook page. So this is how this one came out, and hope you enjoy it. So thank you very much for watching my videos, and see you the next time. Bye.